coming to check out? And they're like, oh, what room are you in? And
Don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. Don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. Don't wait on it tonight.
you've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title of the video, today's story time is going to be about the time or around the time when I stopped taking men with children seriously. Baby daddies, seriously. I've been stopped taking them seriously. So this is gonna be the story time when I was just like, yeah, this the last straw. And a little disclaimer, if you currently dating a baby daddy, or if you date a man with kids, or you're a stepmom, I mean, no offense to you, I'm just giving y'all my personal experience, and I don't mean any harm by anything that I say in the story time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this video. Editing Asia here. Don't jump in my comment section telling me how I'm gonna die alone due to my preferences, because when it comes to baby mamas, men can't wait, especially the ones that look like dinosaurs. They can't wait to tell y'all that nobody don't want nobody with kids. They voice it for the whole community of men. They speak on behalf of all men. So prefaces are my prefaces. I'm not gonna die alone, okay? Okay. So y'all, we're gonna go ahead and start this individual out with a name, because y'all wanted some of my dating story times, but I was like, let me tell y'all this one, because this was a very short-lived relationship. Any little ick that I got around this time, and you was just cut. Like when your girl was on her dating spree, I would just cut twice. Like one eye bigger than the other one, cut. You live with your mama, up, cut. Like how did your number even get in my phone? Like any little thing that just gave me the ick, you would be cut. And around this time, I always been opposed to dating baby daddies, because y'all already know all the stories about women that date men with kids. It's always something going on, or it's always baby mama drama, or it's just always some type of beef. So I am just totally against dating men with kids. And if y'all seen some of my earlier story times, I would say back in like maybe 2017 in college, I was dating this guy, and he waited to tell me that he had a child like 3 months into our relationship, and he never even told me he had a child. I had to find out because I seen a baby picture on his dresser, and it was like labeled 2017. So I'm like, you got a 2-year-old and we've been taking for 3 months, and nothing in your brain could have told you to tell me? So yeah, that was my last baby daddy experience in college. So since then, I haven't dated another baby daddy. Like if I hear you got a kid, a step kid, like whatever, I look the other way. Like I don't even look your way. But around this time, again, y'all, if I am talking to somebody and they have a cool vibe, and when I say talking, I'm using the word very, very loosely, like nothing exclusively. We just rocking. Like I just met you and your number not even saved in my phone, because at this time, well, I still don't do this, y'all. I do not save men number in my phone because I just don't like getting too attached to people. It's rarely that I save your number to my phone. If I say your number to my phone, that means that you're my man, or we talk on a consistent basis. So boom, fast forward. It was a shoe store on TikTok, and I think it was called like $10 shoe. I don't really remember the name of the store, but it was popular on TikTok, and the girls were broadcasting these thigh-high boots. They were saying that all the shoes in the store was $10, and it was like in this country bumpkin town in Texas. I drove all the way out, an hour away from Texas, and I'm not gonna list the name of the town just because I do not want y'all to know who I'm talking about, because it's been a few of my story times where y'all was just like, Asia, I know exactly who you talking about, and y'all have sent me these people's names in Instagram. So I'm just like, dang, I gotta leave a little something. I gotta leave something to the imagination, y'all. So basically, I drove out there or whatever, and I went to this shoe store, and as I was leaving the shoe store, it was in a plaza, and the shoe store was next to, am I talking too much? I can say this. So the shoe store was next to a man's like big and tall, I forgot the name of the store, but it's like a big and tall like suit made places. It's like for, you know, big men that got shoe sizes of like 13s, and they like 6'5" and up. Like it's one of those big tall places or whatever. So as I'm coming out of the shoe store, I see this fella, and we're gonna go ahead and call him let's call him No Moolah Jason. Let's call him that. So normal Jason, he comes out of the store or whatever, he sees me and he's just like, ma'am, and he's calling my name, y'all, because I end up dropping, I don't know how I dropped my wallet, but I end up dropping my wallet as I was leaving the store. So he's calling my name, and I look back and I see he's handing me my wallet or whatever, and I'm just like, hey, thank you so much. And he's just looking down at me, y'all, because this man was huge. Like, he's just looking down at me and he's just, y'all, smiling. He had like the charmiest smile. Like, he's just like, you welcome, like very, very, very soft spoken. I'm just like thank you, like, can I have my wallet? Because when he handed it to me, he's like this, and I'm like, thank you, like, can I have my wallet or whatever? So we end up busting out laughing. He asked me for my phone number. I told him I did not feel comfortable giving him my phone numbers, but I was like, you can hit me up on Instagram. And y'all, I know, hella immature of me, but at this time, like I said, I didn't save numbers anyway, and I was doing a lot of blocking. Like, if you kept contacting me and it wasn't a vibe, like, man, just do not know their boundaries. So I was not giving people my number like that, or if I did give you my number, it was like a text-free number, and I don't know why I didn't give him the text-free number, but I ended up giving him my Instagram, and then, you know, I drove back home or whatever. And after that, he contacted me on Instagram, and maybe about, I want to say probably within like 2 days of him having my Instagram, I did end up giving him my number, simply because, y'all, I would never write him back. Like, I don't have my social media notifications on my phone, because I have, like, y'all, I get distracted very easy, so I have all my notifications turned off. So he would write me like at maybe like 9 p.m. and I wouldn't write him back until like the next day at like 2 p.m. because if I'm not physically on Instagram, then I'm not gonna know that you messaged me. So I just kept being like, oh, my bad, like, for hitting you back so long. So maybe like day 2 or 3, I was like, just text my phone, because we not gonna ever finish a cohesive conversation through Instagram, because I'm just not writing you back in time or whatever. So boom, he ends up texting me again. What's his name again? No Mula Jason. Okay, No Mula Jason. He texts me and he asks me like where I'm from, and we doing, you know, the little small talk or whatever. And I'm just joking him, because the city, the area that he was in, y'all, it's a whole bunch of country bunking towns in Texas. Like, I'm like, who lives out there? Like, what's out there? Because when I was going out there, y'all, it was so country out there. It didn't look anything like Houston. Like, I was just like, what is there out there to do? Like, what do you even do out there? And he was just like, no, I be in the city a lot. I be in the city. And then he went on and he was saying that he has friends in Houston, so he's in Houston like all the time. And I do want y'all to keep in mind that this area was like a very small area. They probably had like 2 Walmarts. Like, they didn't have a lot of big name hotels. So keep that in mind, y'all. They didn't have like a lot of big name places. And if they did have places, it probably was like only 2 and 3 in this city. Like, it was a really small little town or whatever, y'all. So boom, I end up going to New York, and we're texting and we're communicating this entire time, and everything we texting about is real chill, it's real cool. And I want to say, when I was in New York, he was saying like he wanted to take me out or whatever, but I told him I think I was in New York for like maybe 4 or 5 days, y'all. So I end up coming back from my trip to New York. And when I got back, he said he was gonna be in the Houston that weekend that I got back or whatever. I think I got back on a Monday, and he was in Houston that following weekend. So we end up meeting up. So y'all, we're on this date, and this date is going perfecto. Y'all know how it always start off. The conversation good, the drinks flowing, like chemistry is there, baby. I'm feeling amazing on this date. Like, we having a good old time. And then bam, y'all, he drops it on the table. By the end of the day, it's probably like 2 hours into this date, and he's just like, I do want to be completely transparent with you. You notice somebody always say that before somebody lie to you, they love to say, I just want to tell the truth, or I just want to be transparent. So he's like, I just want to be completely transparent with you. I do have a 3-year-old son, and I hope that doesn't jeopardize me getting to know you better. Like, how do you feel about that? How you feel? So immediately after he said this, I was just like, I knew it. It was just too good to be true. Because anytime I really connect with someone and the date is not dry and they really know how to hold a conversation, it's always something wrong with them. Like, it's always something wrong. So I'm just like, I really don't know how I feel about it. And he did say that I came off as a woman that did not date men with kids, and I'm like, you got good discernment, because that's right. I usually do not. Like, I've never ever, even when I did date that one guy in college that had a child, I wasn't taking him seriously. I knew that the relationship was not going to last, just because I just didn't want to have to deal with the drama. And at that time, he had a real cool baby mama. Like, me and his baby mama would be talking on the phone, and we never had a problem. Like, I would speak to her, never did anything for the child or anything, but I would definitely acknowledge her if he was on the phone with her and I was around. But y'all knew, if y'all not new here, y'all know how that turned off. Why I told y'all in a previous story time that I ended up finding out that he was still seeing the baby mama the whole time when we was dating. So baby, I got PTSD when it comes to men with kids. So boom, back into this dating. So he's just like, I hope it's not gonna jeopardize my chance to get to know you. Like, he's really trying to make me, like, ask me how I feel about it. And at that moment at the table, hell, I feel good. I'm like 3-4 shots in, like, I'm feeling good. I can't really assess my feelings in this moment. Like, I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, shit, I don't care, y'all. I'm feeling good or whatever. So we still talking or whatever. I'm telling him like, oh, I don't really know how I feel about it, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, all right, yeah, you cool, you'll be great company, but I'm not gonna date you exclusively because you have a child, you're with child, and I just do not, I'm just opposed to dating men with kids. So boom, the date is over or whatever. After that, he actually stayed in Houston like that entire day. We ended up doing like a whole day together. So we did brunch that day, and then after that we went downtown, walked around, and we had a little day drinking. And then after that we ended up going out to like a hookah lounge that night. So we just had y'all, it was a whole day of just us being together. And by the end of the day, I didn't even like think anything about him having a child. Like, that was off the end. Like, I heard it and it went into one ear and it went out the other ear, because like I said, I'm just like, all right, well, we just not gonna date exclusively. I'ma still do me, and I don't really care what you got going on because you got a child, and that's the only thing that matters at this point. So boom, that happens or whatever. I want to say fast forward maybe like during this time, I also do want to say, y'all, since the day that I met him and I gave him my number, this man had a really good communication. Like, he would keep calling me. He had communication so well that it became annoying. Like, he would be FaceTiming me like 5-6 times a day, and it should be like, damn, like, give me time to put my wig on, to put some chapstick on. Like, I would like purposely have to like block him, because I do want to say, y'all, he had like 2 phones. He had a business phone, which was his iPhone, and then he also had a regular phone, and he was an Android user. So he would call me off of his business phone and FaceTime me. So I would sometimes, during the period where I knew I was going to have my bonnet on and not be looking my best, I would literally block the phone number so he wouldn't be able to call me, because he would call me like so much. It was kind of like a lot, y'all. And then I also would say he would love bomb me a lot. Like, he would just be hyping me up, always complimenting me. And he would also always reference like my Instagram. He would be like, oh, I'm looking at your Instagram pictures right now, I can't wait to see you again. And mind you, that was way before he even got to meet me, to really get to know me the first time. Like, that was just after this. Well, that was maybe, I think it was like a week before. No, maybe it was 2 weeks, because I was in New York, and then when I came back from New York, that's when our date. But boom, y'all, just keep that in mind. He would always just, you know, compliment me, and he would just call me obsessively like he was already my man. Like, he was already very intentional from the jump. Like, after that date or whatever, he was just like, oh, I already feel like you mine, blah blah blah. And then he would drive back and forth, which he only lived like an hour away from Houston, but he was driving back and forth every other weekend. And let's just keep in mind that it was only it was 3 times total that I seen him. The first time that I met him, and then he came back to Houston for a second time after the first date. So after the first date, he's already basically trying to claim me, call me his girl or whatever. He never officially tried to ask me out or anything, but he was just, ooh, y'all, my leg, ooh, my leg is dead. Ooh, my leg is dead. But back to the story, y'all. So yeah, he was already trying to act like I was his girlfriend, already claiming me. Like, when we would be out or whatever, well, when we would be out and he would be on the phone with me, he'll be like, hold on, I'm on the phone with my lady, like, move out the way, bro. Like, when people would talk to him in the background, he'll be like, excuse me, I'm talking to my girl. Like, he would do little lame stuff like that, and it's just like, kiki, you thinking like you doing something. That's not oppressing me. It's coming off like you're love bombing me. Like, why are you trying to claim me when I'm for the streets? Not really, y'all, but why are you trying to claim me? Like, you're doing a lot, and it's only been like 2 weeks, and you just met me last week. But he was doing a lot, y'all. Like I said, never met a man that would call me this much. He would call 4 or 5 times a day. It would be random FaceTimes. He would sometimes call like late at night, like 11 o'clock. Like, I'm old. I go to bed by 10 o'clock, and he would be calling like after 11, or he'll be calling before the sun come up. He'll be calling like 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, when he get up to go for work, he'll just be calling. And it's just like, if you was my man, then all right, but you're not my man, so why are you calling so much? And then when I wouldn't answer the phone, because like I said, during that time I would be blocking his work phone number and I would be unblocking it, and I would just be like, oh, I don't know what's going on with my phone. Sometimes my phone be going to the voicemail like it's dead, but it's not dead. Like I was just playing it off, but really I was blocking him because you're doing too much or whatever. So boom, fast forward, during this time, again, communication excellent, y'all, from sun up to sun down. This man is texting me. This man is like just trying to whip your girl up, trying to like, sauce me up or whatever. So fast forward to the following week, and when I say the following week, y'all, it really felt like it was like 3 days later, because for our second date, he came out to Houston like it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday. He didn't even wait till the weekend because he kept saying like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you. I don't know, I think it was some type of holiday. Like I think he did have that Friday off. I don't know what holiday it was, but he said that he was coming there and he was getting a hotel. And personally, to me, I thought it was a bit too early for you to be coming to the city and getting a hotel, because who's staying there? I'm not staying there with you, but okay. So boom, he comes to Houston or whatever. He checks into his hotel, and we have a full day of just dating. And at this time, I did not have a job, y'all, so I had nothing but time on my hands. Your girl I was free. So I go out with him. We go to the mall. We going out to eat. We going to the movies. We just vibing. And to him, he's not from Houston, so it's really feeling like a vacation to him. Like the whole day, we just spending time together or whatever. And then fast forward to, I want to say, after he leaves, he did try to get me to stay at his hotel that night, but I told him I just did not feel comfortable, y'all. And it was kind of hard for me to say no, just simply because the chemistry was there. Like we had great chemistry, but I was just like, the whole baby thing, I didn't want to be like too serious with him. I'm like, all right, you gonna be a good time, but I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt just in case you got your baby mama waiting to pop out the bushes. So I'm not even gonna get into it. So I was real skeptical and wanted to really like take my time with this one. So fast forward to the third week. This is the third week of us talking. Mind you, all the way up from the all the way up to this week, y'all, this man has been calling multiple times, hella consistent, blowing my phone up. Like I told y'all, it would be overwhelming. So boom, Mother's Day was coming up, and usually for Mother's Day in Houston, there's always things going on. Like Houston is a consumerism city. Like they gonna find a reason to make some money. Like if it's Father's Day, Mother's Day, Labor Day, like whatever the day is, they throwing parties. Like it's going up in Houston. So Mother's Day was coming up, and I don't remember exactly what day it was. I think it landed on like a Friday or like close to the weekend or whatever. So I asked him like, oh, like what are you doing for Mother's Day? Because mind you, y'all, he had just told me on the first date that he had a child. So I'm assuming like, all right, maybe he's spending time with his child, with the mom. Like maybe he's doing something for her. Like again, y'all, no biggie. Didn't come off as jealous or crazy or anything, because like I said, I'm not taking this man seriously, because one, you's a baby daddy, like you was a father, so I know I'm not taking you serious. So I'm just asking him like casually, like, oh, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Like, do you have anything planned? He's like, nah, Mother's Day, I don't got nothing planned. Like I probably will go by and see my mom, but other than that, I don't really got anything planned. So I'm like, oh, okay. And this was probably like 2 to 3 days before Mother's Day, y'all. So leading up to this, he started acting funny. Communication went flat. Mind y'all, remember how I told y'all in the beginning of the story time, I would have to literally block this man because he would be blowing my phone up. He would always be calling for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like he would call. He would always call to make sure I ate. He would, if I said I did not eat, y'all, he would literally Uber Eats food to my house. Like he was very attentive and very concerned about my well-being, as it seems. So boom, y'all, fast forward, I want to say like it's like 2 days from Mother's Day, and I wasn't going home for Mother's Day or anything. I think I just sent my mother money or whatever, but I wanted to like actually get her a gift, but I waited too late. It wasn't on shipping time. I wanted to order her something offline. So I'm talking to him or whatever, and I'm like, do you know about this company or whatever? Because I can't think of the name. I don't know why I can't think of the name of the company. But basically, it's like a popular, y'all, I can't even think of the company, but basically I'm asking him like, oh, do you know about this company? Do you think like a mother would like this? Even though I don't know why I'm asking him this, because you don't know yourself, nor do you know my mother, so why am I asking you this? But y'all, I was just, you know, making conversation or whatever. So I'm asking him like, oh, do you think my mother may like this? This man don't know nothing about my mother, y'all. But I'm like, oh, do you think she'll like this or this? Like, which one you like or whatever. So we just talking about Mother's Day, and then I'm telling him like, all right, I think I'm gonna get her this. And fast forward, y'all, I end up not getting my mother that. Anyway, I think I just gave my mom, I think, a purse, and I end up giving her money or whatever. And he was acting like, this is why I'm calling him No Moolah Jason, y'all, because this man was acting like he had so much money. Because he just came out and he was just like, oh, for Mother's Day, I'll probably end up upping her rate. Last year I gave her 10K, I'll probably give her 15 this year or whatever. And when he would say little things like this, y'all, I would literally say anything, because I feel like people that discuss and like boost money are people that really don't have no money. So he would just really give off like, oh, I got so much money. Like, he would just give off like, I got so much money. But I'm thinking like, you probably really don't got no money, because your mannerism, like how you act or whatever. So I blew that off or whatever. We talked, and then after that day, y'all, the man went Houdini, like he went missing. So I'm just like, dang, like the good morning text stopped, did you eat breakfast stopped, like he didn't care if the heart dropped, like everything stopped the next day after that conversation. I end up texting him like, hey, good morning, no response or anything, and this was really unlike him. So I'm like, oh, maybe he busy with work or whatever. And I do want to say at this time, y'all, like I said, I was still dating other people, but I was probably in communication with No Moolah Jason the most, because he was very attentive. Like, he would just be blowing my phone up. So he was like the leading one on the roster. Finally hit me back at night, y'all. He was just like, oh, sorry, been at work, I had a really long, like, busy day, y'all. Didn't think anything of it. I did think it was odd, but I didn't really care to, like, you know, chastise him and be like, oh, like, I didn't really care to mention it to him, basically, y'all. So boom, fast forward the next day, the same thing, no good morning text, no anything. So I called him one morning, I'm just like, hey, good morning or whatever, and he just like, hey, good morning. And it's like, y'all, it's like a whisper or whatever, and there's like a lot of noise. You know when a person is like in a mall or in like a public area, because when I call, there's like hella background noise, and I'm like, hey, like, where you at? He's like, oh, I'm gonna have to call you back, I'm gonna have to call you back, work got me caught up. I'm like, all right, click, phone hangs up. So I'm like, all right, you can play, but you're not gonna play with me. So, you know, I turned into a detective gadget, baby. I hopped on Facebook, because like I said, y'all, I had him on Instagram. He would post on Instagram, but he would just post stuff like gym selfies. He would take pictures of his steering wheel, because he had a Bentley, y'all. He would take pictures of the steering wheel. He would take pictures of like little things, maybe like the sky or like just little stuff, y'all. He would repost a lot of stuff on Instagram. So, and he knew that I would watch his Instagram stories. So I was like, Instagram not gonna tell me what I need to know, y'all. He was not a part of the Gen Z. He was like 35 years old. So I'm like, yeah, you live on Facebook. Anytime, like the first 2 days that we went on, that whole weekend, y'all, he was heavily on Facebook. Like Facebook, we was like dying on Facebook videos. Like we was on Facebook together. He loved Facebook. So I went on Facebook or whatever, and I typed in No Moolah Jason, and guess what, baby? The account popped up. Y'all. Clicked on the account, and this man got a mile-long story. So I'm clicking through the story, and I'm seeing shopping spree, I'm seeing bags everywhere, and it's not really like, the stories are not really telling at first. Like the first story that I see is literally him, it's like a Gucci store bags, Louis bags, like it's like all different types of luxury brands like on his story or whatever. And to a certain degree, I thought it looked kind of prop, because the photos just looked hella like zoomed in or whatever. Like he took the photos like, nigga, we can see the label, we see that you got a Louis bag, like we see it. Like he took all the pictures like very zoomed up. So I'm like, oh, maybe he in Houston at the Galleria shopping, because like I told y'all he was from a really small country town, because I'm like, ain't no way like your little mall have all of that. It was a country town, y'all. So I'm going through the story really fast, because it's just a whole bunch of shopping spree bags. He's taking pictures of food and just like of luxury items, y'all, and even stuff that he didn't purchase. Like he's just in the store just taking all types of pictures. And at the end of the story, he takes a photo, and he takes a photo of food, y'all, and it says the Doubletree Hilton on the corner of the photo or whatever, like I could see the menu and it says Doubletree Hilton at the top or whatever, and I see the logo. So I'm like, Doubletree Hilton, you told me you was at work, but it's giving Doubletree Hilton on a Thursday. The math is not mathing, baby. So like I told y'all, he lives in a very country town. So I go ahead and type in Doubletree Hilton and I put in the country bunky town that he lives in. And y'all, guess what pops up? I didn't even know this was gonna pop up, y'all, but it was literally only one Doubletree Hilton inside the entire town. So I hit it or whatever. The rest of the Doubletree Hiltons that came up were like in the Houston area, but where he lived at, this was the closest Doubletree Hilton by that town or whatever. So I click it or whatever, and I'm comparing the pictures of the pictures that he put on his story, because he took pictures of like the food and you can kind of see like the sitting area of where he was eating at. So I'm comparing the color of the tables to the tables that they have on their dining area on their website, because you can play games but you're not gonna play with me, baby. So I go on there and I'm like looking and I'm like, yeah, I got him, this the one or whatever. So I'm like, all right, this is really cute, but why you couldn't just say that? Like, why you couldn't just say that you was at the Double Hilton? Like, why you just couldn't say that, y'all? He just couldn't say that. Well, my hair's starting to go flat. But y'all, after that, he texted me back the next morning and he's just like, my bad, work had me really caught up, but I'm gonna call you. So I said, don't worry about it, because I'm at work today and I'm unemployed, y'all, at this time. So I'm like, no, don't worry about it, because I'm at work today. And he wrote back and was like, girl, stop playing, because he knew that I did not have a job at that time, y'all. So boom. He ends up calling my phone. He's like blowing my phone up. I answer on the second time he called. I answer. I'm just like, hey, what's up? And he was like, yeah, my bad, work just had me really called up. When you called me, I had went to get something to eat. So I'm like, oh, okay. After we get off the phone, I go ahead and I call the Doubletree Hilton, because you claiming you was at work all day, you wasn't doing anything. He didn't mention no shopping spree. He didn't mention any of this. So I go ahead and I call the Doubletree Hilton and I'm like, hey, what time does breakfast close? And they're like, breakfast closes at 10:30. You better hurry before you miss it. And I'm just like, oh, that's fine. And it's checkout at 11. What time is checkout? And they're like, oh, what room are you in? And I'm like, oh, my boyfriend booked it. I actually don't remember what room. Could you just look it up by the name? And I tell her that the name is No Mula Jason. And she's like, oh, yep, your checkout is at 11. But if you needed to extend your checkout, you can come to the lobby to do that. And I'm like, all right, I'll probably extend it. So I hang up or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, boom, that just confirmed. No Mula Jason, you're at the Hilton and you just said you was at work. So that was that, y'all. As for, I want to say, later on that day, he ends up texting me. And like I said, this is unlike No Mula Jason. Like, he texts and he calls all the time. So the fact that he's not texting and calling just proves my theory that you playing games. Fast forward, didn't say anything about it because like I said, y'all, Instacart. Okay, again, didn't say anything about it because like I said, y'all, this is not my man and I'm not really taking him seriously. But I thought it was funny that you made all of this, you made all of this stuff up like, oh, I want to date you, trying to claim me as your girl, knowing you got your baby mama on speed dial. Like, stop playing. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this story up, y'all, because the video getting kind of long. Fast forward, the next day he's blocked, y'all, because I don't play games. Like I said, any little inkling, any little suspicion, like, I shouldn't be having any inkling. And if I have an inkling about something, I'm confused. And the beginning, block. So I blocked him or whatever, not speaking to him. Didn't think to block him on Instagram. I don't know why I didn't think to block him on Instagram. I didn't have him on Facebook or whatever. And when I checked his Facebook page, y'all, I checked with my regular account. I don't know if he peeped or seen that I saw his Facebook story and I put two to two together. I don't know what he thought, but I wasn't, I wasn't going through no fake page. So like I said, I wasn't expecting to find anything. I was just wanting to see what he was up to because the actions, he just switched up night and day, y'all. So boom, he ends up calling me off a fake number, which I don't know if it was somebody else's phone or it was a fake number, y'all, but he calls me off the number, and I know it's him because it says it's from that country bunkin town. So I answer the phone and I'm just like, hey, what's up? He's just like, hey, why did you block my number? Is something wrong? Did I do something? And I'm like, oh no, you didn't do anything wrong or whatever, because I'm going the easy way out. Like, I ain't want to really eat him up, y'all. I ain't really want to get into it with him, because like I said, at this time, y'all, I really believed if you play me, I don't feel like I need to, or if you try to play games with me, I don't feel like I need to explain anything to you. So he keeps asking me like, hey, like, I really want to see you again, like what's up, let me know what's wrong, like I can't read minds, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, all right, like nothing's wrong, like I have decided that I don't want to speak to you no more. Like, am I not allowed to do that? Like, can I not just cut you off and that just be like, you can't just be cut off for whatever reason or whatever? So he's just like, no, just tell me or whatever. And then he keeps like, you know, badgering me to try to like give him some information of why I'm not messing with him, y'all. So I don't. So he ends up coming clean. He just like, all right, you caught me. I took my baby mama out. I took her out for Mother's Day. I know I told you I wasn't doing nothing for the baby mama, but I did it. Like, are you mad because I took her out? And I'm like, no, I'm not mad that you took your baby mother out for Mother's Day, but it was the fact that you tried to lie and you tried to hide it. Why did you try to hide it if she's just your baby mama? Exactly, y'all. So after that, I ended up regretting giving this man my number to begin with, because he was like harassing me, calling my number for different phones for like weeks. And then maybe after like 2 weeks, he realized that he was not gonna hear from me or gonna see me again, so he just eventually stopped calling. But that was the last time I dealt with a man with child, and that's one of many reasons why I do not deal with men with kids. And I know this is not the case for everybody relationship. Like, a lot of people can have healthy co-parent relationships with their kid and still be faithful, but I don't know, y'all. I just can't do it. But yeah, girlie, that's the end of the story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Peace.